He's fighting in the West Quadrant.
Tornado attack!
So, yeah. Captain Chicken away! Yeah, people didn't know that, right? Or they don't care. There's a character named Captain Chicken. He is in the final episode of Dragon Ball Z. He hardly has any lines, but he sure was fun to voice. Because I made him kind of like Johnny Bravo meets Foghorn Leghorn. I say, oh boy. That girl's like a highway between Fort Worth and Dallas. No curves. That's an actual line from the Looney Tunes cartoon. That's why I love Warner Brothers Looney Tunes, because that's stuff that grown-ups could still appreciate, and jokes went right over the kids' heads, and it's like, innuendo, no. But yes, anyway, hi. This is Dragon Ball Z panel, so they tell me. Yeah, I don't know. This is pretty freewheeling, so you bring the Q's, I bring the A's. If you have Q's, you should stick your hands up in the air and wave them around just like you just don't care. Yes. Favorite part about voicing the great Saiyaman, Guardian of the City. Marty? Marty! Great Scott! 1.21 gigawatts! It's because I'm old. Old people get it.
Aren't you supposed to be coming here next year?
Yeah, next year. That's when Back to the Future 2 takes place. All the great fashion, the hoverboards. Did you guys see the Kickstarter for the actual hoverboard they created? And for $10,000, you can have one that only works on metal surfaces. It doesn't work over water, no. I don't know, man. Meh. Anyway, hi, Dragon Ball Z panel. Hi, I'm very ADD. Ooh, shiny. What was the question? Did I answer the question? Wait, ask it again. Rewind. Oh yeah, I totally didn't answer that. Favorite part of voicing the great Saiyaman is the fact that it's goofy, it's dorky, it's a side of Dragon Ball Z, which is more of an action-oriented. Yeah, there's lighthearted moments, but this is a moment when, after the Cell Saga, you had all this intense drama, it's dead serious, and it's a total shift in the show, which some fans were just very turned off by. They didn't like it. They think that Saiyaman's terrible, and it's like the Jar Jar Binks of Dragon Ball Z. And I'm like, I love it. Why? Actors concede, it's all about me. It's all about Gohan. So I had lots of stuff to do and say, and I got to rap like a white guy. I tried to rap like James Brown. It's like, oh yeah, do that. And Chris Evans was, no, he's not that hip. White it up. It's like, oh, okay. So, all right. So he can't rap. So if you YouTube the Saiyaman rap, which I have not memorized, and one of these days I will. Yeah. It's a lot of fun to try to not rap correctly or on the beat. Now some people just naturally do that. Naturally have no rhythm. But I'm a drummer, so I'm working against my inner clock, my inner metronome. It's like, no, and they say that when you're a voice actor, if you have a musical background of any kind, that helps you, especially with anime dubs, because it's a timing thing. You hear the starting gun, beep, 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 dub the line. It's not beep, beep, dub the line. It's not beep, 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 dub the line. No, it's not that either. It's very specific. So if you have that internal clock and you're used to rhythm, I mean, all music is rhythm-based, really. No matter what you play, it's all beats, in a sense. Then that will assist you. And that's kind of what helped me, to my understanding. But, Stephanie Dodoni, the original Kid Gohan, the Kid Goku, she's a singer. She still sings and everything. So that helped her adapt to the process. This was all our first gigs. This is when we were brand spanking new in the, early 2000s. This was August of 2000 when I first tried out. DJ for Radio Disney, heard about auditions at Funimation, go in and try out, and I'm already a fan of Dragon Ball Z, because it's been airing here since '95. They were showing the Canadian dub, which still exists, and they have since completed all the way to the end of Boo. And yeah, so I had this nice situation where I didn't have to voice match a teenage high school Gohan. He hadn't appeared in the show in the Canadian dub, so I got to make it my own, which felt good. And then if you've since heard the Canadian dub, they got Brad Swale, who was Light on Death Note, and who's on Gundam Wing and all that. He did a great job. But they don't try at all to voice match what we did, which is fine. I think that's fine. I still am perplexed as to why there's 2 English dubs of any show. It's like, is it one enough? But for whatever reason, I'm thankful that Funimation decided to move their operations to Texas. Otherwise, I wouldn't be involved in that. And if I wasn't involved in that, then I wouldn't be in anything else since then. At least not in that progression of things. Dragon Ball Z led to Yu Yu Hakusho and Blue Gender, which led to Full Metal Alchemist, which led to moving to LA, which led to getting onto Naruto and Bleach, which led to Street Fighter, which led to Gurren Lagann. So, you know, circle of life. It's fun. Good.
Did you feel like a badass when you voiced Gohan versus Majin Buu?
Gohan versus Majin Buu. This was a moment, or as polar opposite of Great Saiyaman, which is all about the dork. Dork, nerd. Full frontal nerdity. Gohan shows his potential as probably even more powerful than his dad at that moment. And you think like, oh my god, he's really taking things to the next level. And then, spoilers, it doesn't happen. Darn you, Kashu Akira Toriyama. I thought this was all about Gohan's story. You see the progression. He grows up as a kid. That's basically Z's story. It's focused mostly on, not mostly, but, you know, Kid Gohan is a big part of it. And then you think, okay, it's cutting back to him as he grows older. Another huge part of the appeal, I think, of Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball in general. You see these characters start off young, and then they grow older, and then they have kids, and then you see the kids' journey and all that. It's like, that's something you don't normally see. I don't think, well, maybe now you do in anime, but at the time, I thought it was a new concept. I'm used to seeing things like, you know, Charlie Brown, the kids stay eternally young. The Simpsons, everyone stays the same age, you know. You don't see necessarily entire story arcs, dozens upon dozens of episodes focusing on that change. You're used to seeing in movies and cartoons and all that thing, you know, short little bursts. It's like, I'm 5 years old, and then flash, I'm 20 years old, you know. But this one actually stretches it out over time, and there's character development. What I think is really cool about Dragon Ball Z is that it has this huge female following, which I totally didn't anticipate. When I started going to conventions, I figured all I'd see were dudes. And it was like, this is a sausage fest of a show. This is just gonna be all like, you know, it'd be like going to a wrestling match or something. And then I see the autograph line, hundreds of girls. It's like, wow, really? And then everyone goes, oh my god, I have the biggest crush on Gohan. It's like, oh, now I see what's going on. Yeah, I see what's going on. You know, tons of, I see a Bedell in the audience, awesome, thanks for representing. I see, you know, Android 18s all the time. I think it's really, really cool that these shows are not what society may call, you know, and they'll break it down in marketing. It's like, oh, this show is aimed at boys. Well, guess what? Girls watch things too. And it's so annoying, sorry to go off a tangent. Cartoon Network pulled, what show was it? Young Justice? They pulled Young Justice because girls were watching it. That is the most misogynistic, terrible thing that they could do. Because Young Justice had good ratings. Isn't that what it's about? When you put a show on, you make your money back? So annoying. So annoying. And now we're in the age of social media. So you guys have a voice. And people hear it, the pulse of the people in the moment, live, real time. So now networks can hear that it's like, hey, that's offensive, dude, don't do that. And then, you know, hopefully, they'll let shows be and flourish and grow and change and evolve and all that fun stuff. Anyway, hi, Goku. Dragon Ball Z Kai is scheduled to be on Toonami starting this month, I believe. Anyone know the exact date? November 8th? Oh, that's coming right up. As far as I know, they're starting from the beginning, and they'll go through. I just wrapped the Boo Saga last weekend. So, yeah. In fact, that felt so good because I got to redub all of this Team Gohan stuff, my first professional voice acting stuff. You never get the opportunity to do that. And if I go back and watch the old Z YouTube clips, I'm just like, oh, that's horrible acting. Oh my God. And then people grow up and they say, oh my God, you were my childhood and all this stuff. It's like, that's a moment captured in time. And so I respect that, but when you do something and you wish you could have, would have, should have done better, see now, 14 years later, as a teenager, I have a lot more experience under my belt. So I was able to bring that, and I think, even though it's controversial, some people just prefer the original Z to Kai. But for me, Kai is an opportunity to take, and for everyone on the cast, we're all better actors now, to bring that performance, and hopefully people will have open ears to at least judge it on that term. It's like, okay, well, I still prefer original uncut Z, even though it goes on forever. And you still have that. That's the thing. When people say, blah, 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 fill in the blank, destroyed my childhood. Guess what? The thing that you loved as a childhood still exists. It's not like it's erased. You can watch Z, uncut. Yay! And then Kai, and you say, oh, it's butchered, it's edited. Yeah, on TV it is, but it won't be on Adult Swim. And it's been uncut on DVD and Blu-ray since it came out, so there's no excuse. Censorship to me for anime on TV, that means it's a commercial to go buy it uncut. Now, it's not available in every case, but generally, you can do that. They're being such a tease on Toonami with Hellsing Ultimate. They're not even going to show the last couple episodes. What? Yeah. Cray. Yes, Doctor Who. I can't hear a thing you're saying. I'm sorry. I got half of that.
He wants to know what your opinion is on the super long fights, like Vegeta versus Goku.
Oh, super long fights. Well, this is why Kai, I think people are being too harsh on Kai. Kai addresses that problem of, oh, it takes 50,000 episodes for anything to happen. It trims it down. All the fights are kind of succinct. When you take 291 episodes and mash it down to like 150 episodes, trim the fat, as it were, take the filler arcs out, and people say, well, I love the filler. It's like, but you gotta give. You gotta take something to get something. What do you, equivalent exchange? What? Well, I love this. But yeah, it addresses that one thing that the people that are non-fans always bash DBZ about. It's like, nothing happens. It's like, well, give me work as a narrator.
Next time, last time, previously on Dragon Ball Z, nothing happened at all. The Earth is about to explode. Will Goku have what it takes to,
It's like, and then next episode,
the Earth is about to explode.
we know, dude, we know. And then you have, it's like, yeah, so for 291 episodes, I had gainful employment. And then I didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. And then you have people coming up going, you're the voice of my childhood, but no offense, I hate you at the same time. Because if I hear the narrator, that means I know the episode's over. Or beginning. Yeah, something like that. Okay, Marty.
It's a bit blasphemous, but I wasn't a big fan of DBZ when I was a kid, but currently I have done one recently, and Kai was motivating me to go back and watch it without having to go back and watch it.
Yeah, it's like watching Abridged.
And also, yeah, it's really officially like subscription. But when you read Gohan, did you really do anything different, or did you keep it the same?
No, I didn't change the voice for Gohan on the Kai dub.
It's the same voice. The script is slightly different. The script is 100% faithful to the Japanese dub script for Kai, which is also different. And the Kai script, the whole idea of Kai is to make it more faithful to the manga, right? That's why they take away the filler arcs. And I mean, honestly, if you look back at it, I guess Toei said, okay, this show's a huge hit. Stretch out the fights. You know, you could imagine someone in a marketing office going, hey, we're making money. Let's make this last forever. I heard Toriyama wanted to end Z with the Frieza saga. Can you imagine if the show actually ended after Frieza? We wouldn't have Team Gohan, we wouldn't have Boo, we wouldn't have Cell, we wouldn't have, you know, there's tons of stuff that we've been missing out on as fans. But money talks. I'm sure Toei said, here, money. Okay, I'll make more. And that's what happened, and that's a good thing. We got more, and now Battle of Gods came out. Huge hit in Japan, huge hit here, and now we're getting another movie next year. Now, will it be dubbed? Hopefully, fingers crossed. There's no reason to think why it won't eventually, but it's not officially licensed yet. It's not, you know, there's no plans or anything. We just have to wait and see. But honestly, from a business standpoint, it's easier and way more profitable to do a movie than it is to do a TV series. It's also less work. Less stress. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to say, in Dragon Ball, in the original Dragon Ball Z, they took out some of the music pieces, you know, like the interest in like environment stuff. I just recommend it, and they actually changed the whole setting of it. At least it wasn't the same as far as I know, they like it's all like it's all like I know it was interesting to see that they changed stuff.
Yeah, if anything, Kai is an interesting experiment. Whether you like it or not, you know, put that out of your mind and just watch it with an open mind, going, okay, let's see here. And again, I come at it from an acting perspective where the entire cast, I mean, granted there's a couple of replaced voices, but generally, when people say, hey, why weren't you the narrator on Kai? It's like, because they consider Kai to be its own thing. Every Dragon Ball saga has its own narrator. I'm not Dragon Ball's narrator, I'm not GT's narrator, I'm Z's narrator. Now you could argue that Kai is just Z remastered, but I also live in LA. I can't afford to fly back to Texas every week and be like, next time on Dragon Ball Z. Okay, see you next week, guys. I'd have to pay for the flights, and it's just not worth it from a financial standpoint. Anime pay is terrible. So I understood it. It kind of sucked, it kind of hurt, but it's like, people still recognize me to be the narrator. And I am the narrator on Battle of Gods Uncut on DVD. Now that wasn't in the version theatrically, but you know, you've got versions out there, so you have multiple versions to see. Yes.
Speaking of the abridged song, how do you feel about that?
How do I feel about Abridged? It's really, really funny. And you know, it's controversial because you can argue that, oh, it's taking copyright material and just manipulating it and all that. That's what fandoms are. But it's really funny, it's really popular, and if anything, it's free marketing. There's a whole new generation that hadn't watched Dragon Ball Z before, and they're checking it out because they saw Abridged. Now, what I think is even funnier is that when the Abridged guys come to a panel, they're like the Beatles, man. They're the most popular draw at all the panels, standing room only, and all the other voice actors are like, what's going on? I have to go and sit at my panel. I mean, other actors get all offended and whatnot, but I mean, I think they're great. I think they're really, really talented. And I've only seen a handful of episodes, but I totally get the appeal. Totally get it. There's not enough hours in the day. I know. It's like, what? You haven't seen everything? I'm lucky I can see most of Dragon Ball Z. I am ADD. If a show has like 12 episodes or, you know, half of a season, there's a much better chance I'll sit down and watch it because I know it's not a time commitment, right? This is why I'll never watch One Piece. 600 episodes, really, dude? No. I can't watch Naruto. I can't watch Bleach. And I'm in it. I've only seen what I've dubbed. It's just how it goes. Yes. It's just a choice of the material as presented. I mean, we're following it faithful to the Japanese. So it's not like the Americans are manipulating and changing it themselves. The Japanese did it.
and twisted their own stuff into a new interpretation. But I get why they did it, because maybe they were thinking, okay, yeah, it's a cash grab, okay. But, it's also a chance to address, what do you do if you take the most popular action anime of the past few decades, and you take out and you trim the fat and make it a lean, mean, very focused show? Boom. Well, okay, it came out, and it is what it is, and it's not as popular as we're all hoping it would be, but, again, new interpretation, it's an opportunity to revisit material. This doesn't happen that often. With a lot of shows, it is what it is, and it's done. But here, they did this. It's like, I don't imagine they'll ever do this with Bleach or Naruto or anything. They did it with FMA, and they did that whole other series, Brotherhood, to be close to the manga. They did Hellsing Ultimate to be close to the manga. But generally, most shows just come out, and it is what it is. And people have their preferences, and that's totally fine. I know that if I want to watch Hellsing, I'll watch Hellsing. If I want Ultimate, I'll watch Ultimate. So, yeah. Yes, Ryu.
Well, that's the problem. I dressed as Ryu, and I had no idea that you did voice characters for Ryu.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Pretty cool. So,
Hadouken!
yeah, I was about to do that. But anyway, what was your favorite thing about the battle between Mystic Gohan, or Great Saiyaman Gohan, versus right when he's about to fight Deborah? What was your favorite part about the battle between him and Deborah? Right
man.
at like the third stage.
I don't remember the exact way that fell out. I do remember a moment, though, before all that, in the Otherworld tournament when Gohan first turned Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah, he was battling Vegeta.
Yeah, all that stuff. I thought that was cool, because I like the animation. His eyes roll back in his head, and the tournament tiles are levitating. Yeah, powers up. It's like, that's a cool moment. And I'm glad I got to do that. And I did get to do it again on the Kai dub. And I was able to still match the screen. It's like, it's been 14 years and I can still do it. Yeah. Yes, that felt good. So I can't wait for you guys to hear it. It's like, did they just cut and paste? Nope, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. I did. Yes, sir.
With that 14-year gap between the end of Dragon Ball Z and the start of Kai and Battle of Gods and all that, was it easy for you to just fall back into those voices, or did you have to rehearse all that?
Yeah, no, it's like riding a bike or learning to swim. It's just nature, it's second nature. A lot of us we're just super thankful we got to come back to the beginning of a lot of our careers. Kara Edwards, myself, Chris Sabbath's first stuff was there. John Schimmel, the thing that put us on the map, on the convention circuit, on the anime fandom, that's the show. So yeah, you just remember, you fall right into it, and it feels good. And it feels even better when the director's like, you know what to do. It's like, because usually you're there in the booth and you have to give the director what they want. And they're there to give, little tweaks and subtle guidance, but it said, that's a good feeling when they say, you guys have done this on autopilot for years. An autopilot in the best way possible, not in a, oh, you don't care. No, you got this. We trust your instinct with the characters. That felt great. Yeah.
Have you ever ordered pizza using your Gohan voice?
Do I order?
Have you ever tried to order your pizza using Gohan voice?
Ordering pizza in my Gohan voice. I have not done that. People have dared me to drive through McDonald's as the narrator. One day, and I'll try and YouTube it or something. It's like,
I'd like a Big Mac and Super Saiyan size that.
So that's a crapshoot, really, because what if the person taking my order knows nothing about anime, doesn't recognize Dragon Ball Z, or is just having a bad day? And they just go, thanks, pull through. And then I continue to do the voice when I give them my money and all that, like,
Thanks, do you accept Apple Pay?
like yeah, whatever. I don't get paid enough for this. Go on.
It's like, you're right, me neither.
Yes?
Yeah, it's more a fanboy question, but in the original dub for Funimation, whenever you're seeing Gohan and he goes to fight Majin Buu the first time, Majin Buu says, are you here to fight me? Does Gohan still say, no, I'm here to kill you?
Oh, for the Kai dub?
Yeah.
Yeah, the animation's slightly different, but the line is basically the same. I had to warn them because it was scripted different. I said the fans will have a bet if we change this. But the animation adds like an extra flap or two. But yeah, it basically says, no, I'm here to kill you. Or something,
That's
yeah.
my favorite Gohan moments. I just had to know.
Yeah. Now the TV edit, of course, is problem. I don't know if we did a TV edit. Because I don't know if Nicktoons has a contract to run the Boo Saga or not. But it's like, no, I'm here to destroy you. You know. Gotta love those TV edits. It's like, we're going to hell. No, we're going to the HFIL, Home for Infinite Losers. It's like, well, that's creative. I'll give you that. Yes, Joker.
When you're saying like when you got Narrator and like Teen Gohan, they were your first big gigs. Like, what was, since you said you've been watching it for a while, what was that feeling or that initial reaction of that? Oh my God, I get to do this as like my first major voice acting experience.
Getting to voice on Dragon Ball Z as my first gig is awesome from two perspectives. Getting to be on something that I'm a fan of is unbelievably cool. Having it be my first gig is literally a dream come true, because as a kid, I wanted to voice cartoons. And I know some people get all, it's anime, not cartoons. Like, no, what's anime? Japanese animation. What's cartoons? Animation. Thank you! So, and I know cartoons can have that dirty connotation that it's like, oh, it's for kids. I don't think so. I don't think cartoons is a dirty word. I don't think it immediately degenerates into something. It's just for little children because it's a cartoon. No. Come on, what's Family Guy? It's a cartoon. Is it for kids? No. What's hentai? So yeah. But the feeling was just amazing because I never thought that I felt confident that it would happen. It's just a question of when, not if, because when you want something bad enough, you just stick to it, right? And then when it happens, it's worth every bit of depression and anxiety and blood, sweat, and tears you ever had leading up to that moment. So years of like, oh, I hope I get the chance, I hope I get the chance, and then I got the chance. And then like, ah! So cool, so cool. I mean, you couldn't peel me off the ceiling when I got the call from Chris Sabat going, we'd like to hire you to do voices. It wasn't Gohan yet, even though that's what I tried out for on my first audition. They first hired me to do bit part voices. That's always kind of an important thing in anime dubs because it's a technical skill to match lip sync and do acting and juggle character voices and take direction, and it's a very specific technical thing. So they had to make sure that someone who's coming in and never done it before, like many of us hadn't, went in and could take direction, do the character voice, do the lip sync and all that stuff, and I guess I passed the acid test, and yay! But the first thing I did was bit parts on the Bardock special. And then towards the end of the Cell saga, when Cell's already defeated, but there's all these little mini things like Mr. Burbaum's gang or something. Mr. Bourbon. They changed the name for the TV edit. But yeah, unreal. Just unreal cool. Yes.
What is your favorite character that you've ever voiced? The most fun you've had with a character?
Most fun I've had with a character. Well, Saiyaman was so much fun. And again, Gohan and being involved in Dragon Ball Z is what spiraled into everything else, like a domino effect. So I have my whole career to thank to Funimation. It's like, thanks for giving me this opportunity. But one that really stuck to me, and again, another achievement unlocked for me personally, is like, I want to be in a Disney movie. And nowadays, to be in a Disney movie, you have to be a movie star. You have to be a celebrity. But the people who do this for a living do bit part voices. So when Wreck-It Ralph came out, they decided to hire the actual video game voices for Sonic and Ryu and Ken and not Zangief, unfortunately. I feel sorry for him because the director voiced him in that. But they came to me. I'm like, what? Disney, like Mickey Mouse called me personally. Oh yeah, call. Can you come in? I wish it were like that. But no, my agent called and said, Disney wants you to reprise some role in a game you did years ago. Like, oh, I know what this is about. Because the trailer just hit like 2 weeks before she called me. The first trailer for Wreck-It Ralph, if you see the little Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, you know, the villain stuff, it's like, there's all these Street Fighter characters, and I watch it, and I'm just like, oh, that'd be so cool if Ryu were in it. A couple weeks later, they want Ryu in it. What? What? And I live in Burbank, That's a suburb of Los Angeles. Disney Studios, 5 minutes down the street. So I walk into the Disney Animation Building. They have the big Mickey Sorcerer's hat out front. It's like, oh my God, this is so cool. I walk in. The director of Wreck-It Ralph, Rich Little, who worked on The Simpsons and The Critic and all these other things. This is his first feature film. He sees me come into the session and he freaks out. Oh my God, the voice of Ryu's here. That's my job. I'm the one that has to freak out. What? So yeah, I'm not there. I don't need Sarah Silverman. I don't need John C. Reilly because their stuff's already recorded. And they recorded separately anyway because celebrities have their own wacky schedules. Cartoons normally have the whole cast at one time, but the feature films, not so much. So by the time they called me to come in and voice this little cameo at the beginning of Wreck-It Ralph, in the arcade, they cut to the Street Fighter 2, I guess, and it's Ken and Ryu like, sure you can! Ah, what a day. Let's go to Tappers, Ken. So that little line morphed. It was actually not that funny initially. But they called me in. It's like, I'm not here to judge. I get to do Disney movies. So I read the line. It was something like, Master Go, Ken! You know, it's like, Ken wanted to keep on fighting. It's like, no, the arcade's closed. It's like, okay. It's not really that funny, but all right. 2 weeks later, Disney wants you back. Like, what? What did I do? It's like, no, they changed the line. It's like, okay. Session fee. I go back, record. Rich goes, okay, so we tweaked it. Remember how that last time you came in and you said, hey, let's just have it, just for giggles. Let's have Ryu's signature attack, just a hack. You know, like, Hadouken! So I give him like 3 or 4 of them. The second time I come in, he goes, remember how we had you say Hadouken? Well, the animators actually did Shoryuken. So we need to get you saying that instead. Like, okay. I record it, they tweak the line, we record it. 2 weeks later, Disney wants you again. What? They tweak the line again. This time, Rich Little goes, oh my God, Rich Moore, not Rich Little, I'm so sorry. Rich Little is an impressionist comedian. Rich Moore is the director of Wreck-It Ralph. So bad. Okay, so he comes in and he goes, man, this is the most profitable cameo of all time. And I go, honestly, I would have done it for free, but yes, this is so cool. For 2 lines? Really? Like, okay. And then a 4th time. This time, on Dragon Ball Z. No, it's on the Disney lot. I'm in this big mixing room with a huge screen, and they have, you know, the computer there, because it's all edited up digitally nowadays. And they had the scene up there. I didn't have any mouth flap matching to do, but they showed it to me. And this is like 3 months before it came out in theaters. So I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. But visually, I'm just like, inside, I'm like squealing like a fangirl. So cool. So then we got the line and laid it down. So after 4 sessions, making a lot of money, I got my 2 lines in and I think, okay, this is a cameo that will, it's throwaway. They're just going to cut it out. It has nothing to do with the story. And then they put out a press release. And it says, we got the actual voices from Street Fighter and Sonic. Like, what? Oh, I guess I'm in the movie. And that felt so cool to see a press release like Kyle Hebert from, you know, and they put some credits. Dragon Ball Z, Marvel's Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, because I voiced Super Skrull in that cartoon. So they put that in there, and Synergy, Disney owns Marvel, so they put that on there, they put a little bio, it's like, oh my God, this is so cool. And then, cut to 2 years ago, Anime Nebraskon, 2012, that weekend, Wreck-It Ralph came out. So I go to the screening with Steve Bloom, who was a guest, and some of the staffers, and then my scene comes on the movie, and they're all clapping for me, and I'm practically crying. I'm just like, oh, this is so cool! And then my friends on social media are like, dude, we applauded when we saw your name in the credits, and people looked at us funny. It's like, yeah, why are these people clapping? I don't know, I don't get it. And so like, you see a CG version of Ryu at Tappers, he just gets up and leaves. It's like, did you voice anything for that? Like, no. I wanted to. I would love to be drunk Ryu. Are you kidding? But that was the thing, you know, it's like it's Tappers, but you don't want to imply that it's alcohol. You want to say the original game was called Root Beer Tapper, right? We're having a root beer. So that was like the moment that
felt so good. Again, just like a career achievement. It's like, I want to do voices for animation. I want to be in a Disney movie. So even though it's 2 lines, it's something that just means so much to me. It's not about the money and the fact that I got nice session fees and residuals. That's also another thing. Every time someone buys a copy, they're going to get a piece of that. But no, seriously, just getting to do that meant a lot. I haven't been approached to do anything else since then. That's the way it works in voiceover. There's no momentum whatsoever. I was having breakfast with Richard Epcar this morning. We went over to Perkins. And it's like, don't you hate that? You have something really cool happen in your career, and you think, okay, now it's just going to take off. Crickets? It's like, oh man, really? Because it's like, it doesn't matter what your resume is in voiceover. I can sit here and argue that I think that, okay, I should take things to the next level because I've been doing this for 14 years, and Dragon Ball Z, and Disney. Well, no, I'm just like anyone else. I'm audition 100 times, maybe get called back once or twice. That's just par for the course. It's the way it is. But I love this career. I love that I get to do something that I love to do. And I can make a living at it. Now, 14 years ago, no. When I moved to LA, dead broke. Mom, I can't pay rent. Yeah. Credit card debt. Yeah, see? Voice actors, real people. We poop. We have bills. Drama. Everything. We all put up with the same stuff. Yeah. But that moment felt so cool. Yeah. Saying yeah. Eventually it does. When I first did Dragon Ball Z and had to do it like 5 times in one episode, yeah, that hurt. I got dizzy. I didn't faint like Justin Cook and I think Eric Vale or Sean Schimmel. But I almost did. But that was training, really. Super Saiyan training. Because ever since then, when I do all these Call of Duty type games, I wasn't on Call of Duty, I was on Titanfall. But when you're screaming at the top of your lungs for 2 hours on end, that shreds your voice. I don't care who you are. But I think I had more tolerance to it at this point because Dragon Ball Z was like, yeah, I got this. When I recorded for League of Legends, they said, yeah, we're going to do these power-up yells. You ever see Dragon Ball Z? I'm on Dragon Ball Z. They said, what? Where's your voice? Gohan. No way! And then I'm like, job security. Yes. Weirdest thing I've been asked to say is Dragon Ball Z ever? As the announcer? I don't know. I mean, people might have custom greetings or something. Usually, people will say, "Can you do my voicemail?" I'll say,
Johnny's not here. He's training to be a Super Saiyan. Leave a message after the beep. Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
That usually throws people for a loop. Or people have me saying yaoi things or whatever. I'm like, whoa. Yes? Well, it's obviously exciting for when something like Battle of Gods, an opportunity, brand new animation, new story. It's not Kai, it's not remastered, we're not retelling the same story. Brand new animation, and it's in the Z continuity. It's not like the old movies where they're kind of their own thing. This one actually tied in, and if you, spoiler, it kind of retcons GT out of existence. Thank God. I know GT has a few people going, oh, GT's not really good at the end. Doesn't matter. The majority of GT totally just, and the fact that Akira Toriyama had no involvement, that just like, so it's animated fanfic? And people say, okay, there's a rumor that the Battle of Gods did great, there's going to be a new TV series. Nope. No new TV series, sorry. But there is a new movie. It's better than nothing. I mean, they drop some bombs in Battle of Gods that makes you think that Z is going to be around for a long time in some form. We're going to get more movies. And that's super exciting. And obviously the games, too. I just recorded Xenoverse last week. That comes out in February. So you'll get to do custom characters in that. Even a female Super Saiyan. What? You could do that too. I don't voice female sing. I wish I could, I'd give her. I am singing.
Can you talk about the inspiration behind Majin Buu's voice?
The inspiration behind Majin Buu's voice. Majin Buu's voice. I'm not sure where that came from, but I know Josh Martin was really, really good at that. And Scott McNeil does that voice for the Canadian version.
Hi, this is Vash, and I've hijacked the PA system. Happy birthday, Dylan Nye. I hope you enjoyed your birthday card thing this morning. This is what you get for putting me in a panel at 5 a.m. And by the way, you only have 5 minutes left to finish your panel. I repeat, 5 minutes left to finish your panel. But you don't really have to if you don't want to. 5 minutes. Goodbye.
Will the panel end on time? Find out next time. Okay, speed round.
Let's go back to Ryu, yes.
Yeah, can you please do Gohan's version of the Kamina? I've been dying to hear it.
Oh hi. This is like the morning voice version. Hello, I love the wig. Who are you today? The third Doctor. That's not. What's it? Who played it? Pertwee. Yeah, John Pertwee. Okay. Almost said it's not Tom Baker. Tom Baker had that hair, but it was dark.
Sexy one with nice clothes, gold car, white cake.
Nice. Okay. Cool. All right. So Kamehameha. That does take a lot of weight out, especially when you're old.
Woo! Voice actors have to have good breath control.
I do Pilates once a week, and it's like my Pilates instructor is the wife of Spike Spencer. Spike Spencer is the voice of Shinji on Evangelion. And she, I mustn't run away. So I'm doing Pilates, and the instructor goes, "You have great breath control. I've noticed that about voice actors." It's like, yes, thank you. And Pilates kicks your butt. Oh my God, I hate it and love it at the same time. If you ever do Pilates, you go like, "Ah!" And then afterward, you're like, endorphins go like, "Yeah." Super Saiyan, yes.
How did you feel? I know you didn't like GT. I didn't like it either, but I didn't like the fact that they made Gohan so weak and he was valuable asset in the whole Z arc, especially. How did you personally take that when you went on?
Well, it's with GT, it's like a blessing and a curse. Blessing because it's work. We all like work, just like filler arcs in Naruto and Bleach. Like, fans hate it. We have work.
So, again, knowing Akira Toriyama didn't have a hand in it, and it's just a cash grab, and it's just like, I don't know. But my heart's in it because that's my job. I need to give them 110% on the performance. I want to make sure I do the best I can with the material they give me. So, yeah, I was depressed that Gohan, who's been built up to be this amazing Super Saiyan, one of the most powerful beings in the universe, gets denigrated and degraded down into a bookworm and just sits around doing nothing. Although he did get to grind Vegeta's face through the ground when he got possessed or something. That was kind of a cool moment. But overall, just like, no, not so much. Yeah.
Best part about being the narrator?
Best part of being the narrator? People get excited. And it's like, I feel like I'm a mutant. Like, what's your mutant superpower? I speak and people get excited. People say, can you narrate my life?
Like, John took a pee this morning. Will he brush his teeth? How many cavities will he have? Find out.
Yes.
With Dragon Ball Z being older animation and Dragon Ball Z Kai being newer animation, is it easier or harder for you to match lip flaps?
No, it's actually just remastered footage. It's not brand new footage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So actually, no, in terms of matching lip sync on anime, doesn't matter whether it's old or new. It just looks newer in HD. The remastered stuff. And then newer shows like Space Dandy. Yeah, I mean, we're just looking at QuickTime files in the booth anyway when we're dubbing it.
That way when you blow a take, it instantly queues back up, and we can get a lot more done now. In the old days, we had to dub to tape. So if you blow a take, you have to wait for the tape to rewind and get to the exact frame, and it took like 30 seconds. So it's like we could do maybe 20 loops or lines an hour. Now we can do like 50, 100, you know, go so much faster. Yeah.
Where did you get your shirt?
The shirt I'm wearing,
Attention.
Fruit Loops.
The time is now 50 minutes after the hour. All panels scheduled to end this hour, your allotted panel time has now expired. Please pick up your belongings and clear the room for the next panel. Again, all panels scheduled to end this hour, your allotted panel time has now expired. Please clear the room so the next panel can start on time. Thank you.
So anyway, Fruit Loops. If you Google this, you can find it, I'm sure. I have a whole wardrobe of nerdy shirts, pop culture mashups. You've heard of these 24-hour sites called T-Fury, Ripped Apparel, Quirty, all sorts of sites. If you look up, 24-hour designs or something, you'll find shirts like this. This and Loki charms are like my favorite cereal mashup shirts. There's also Thorio's and Iron Brand and great stuff. But anyway, for everyone else who I didn't answer your questions, come to the autograph session this afternoon. Ask me then. I'll have 8x10s for sale. If you're like, I have nothing for you to sign. Like, well, I have 8x10s available. Or bring your own stuff. I'll sign it. Thank you so much for coming today. Love you. Yes.